Steve Kerr.
All right, Steve.
Before I get to a question, I just want to congratulate Dallas on a great series, hell of a season. One of the things I've learned in my time in the NBA is you in order to be at your best, you have to face great teams. You have to face threats that are really difficult. You got to feel that stress. You got to feel the nerves, and that's what brings out the best in our team, in any team. It's competition at the highest, and Dallas was brilliant. Luka Doncic is impossible to guard. Jason did a fantastic job. They had a brilliant season, and it was like I said, it was a hell of a series. We had to battle like crazy, and we're thrilled to have won. And Kareth?
Now is the time. Your team has made it to 6 finals in 8 seasons. What level of competitiveness does that require? How special is it to do this?
It's pretty amazing. It's so difficult to get to the finals. An NBA season is such a marathon to get through the 82, to get through 3 rounds of the playoffs, beating the best teams in the league to get there. It's frankly, it's exhausting, stressful, emotional, physically tiring, all of that stuff. And for our team, our guys, especially the core group, Dre and Steph, Clay, Loon, Andre, to be part of that 6 times in 8 years, I don't even know what to say. It just takes an enormous amount of skill and determination and work, and I couldn't be prouder of our guys.
Saw some emotion out of all of them. Obviously, you got the finals coming up, but is there a sense of like coming back, like a cycle? There's a completion to get back to the finals after where you were the last 2 seasons?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, these last couple of years have been difficult with the injuries. Worst record in the league 2 years ago. Last year felt like we spent the year trying to get back on track, and I think we did at the end of the season. I thought last year's finish, even though we lost in the play-in, but winning 15 of our last 20, kind of finding our mojo a little bit, and then knowing Klay Thompson was coming back this season. I thought last year was a springboard into this one, and really proud of the guys for really being resolute the last couple of years in terms of getting their work in every day on the court, in the training room, knowing that it was the only path back here, and not knowing if we could do it. So it's an incredible sense of accomplishment for our group.
Steve, when you came to the Warriors, they had a bit of a established, they had become good. But what do you think has made Steph, Draymond, and Klay work so well as like a core trio? Even no matter the role pieces you put around them, it seems they find a way to make it work. Why do you think that is?
I think they're a really unique trio just in terms of how they complement one another in every way. They're such different players. Draymond is kind of our point forward. He's the best defender in the league. He's our emotional leader. Steph and Klay had already established themselves as, this amazing shooting backcourt, but they needed each other from the beginning. Klay handling some of the tougher defensive assignments to allow Steph to be able to focus more on the offensive end. And then the three of them together, the way they move the ball and they pass and cut, it's beautiful to watch.
Hey, Steve, it's obviously been a really hard trek back to the mountaintop for all of you guys. But considering what Klay has gone through over the last 2.5 years, do you especially feel a certain amount of pride for him getting back here?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm happy for everybody, and I could go down the list. Each player has a unique individual background and story, and I'm happy for all of them, but it's hard not to be most excited for Klay given what he's been through, the 2-year absence, the fight that he's been through to get back to this point. Just incredible accomplishment for him, and for him to be a part of it. He's just so happy again. It's wonderful to see.
Steve, all season long with the injuries and people coming in and out of the lineup, we've talked a lot about your depth and next man up. Was tonight and really the series without Gary, without Andre, now without Otto, having two guys like Moses and then Belly, who hasn't really played at all this series, was it kind of just like an accumulation of that depth that we've been talking about all year long? Yeah,
I mean, Belly was just brilliant tonight, and if I were a little smarter, I would have played him earlier in the series, honestly. He's such a good basketball player. He understands the game. The ball moves when he's out there. Did a great job defensively tonight, but those minutes were huge. And, without Otto, we really missed, the two-way combination that Otto brings, and I thought Belly provided that tonight. He was really good at both ends. And then Moses gave us great minutes in the first half, and then the second half when they decided to play Luka the whole half, we just wanted to stay with Wiggs and mirror those minutes, and I thought Wiggs was just amazing. Just the determination to stay with Luka the entire game Wiggs is an amazing athlete. I mean, he just doesn't seem to get tired, and picked him up full court the entire series, made him work for everything, and yeah, those guys were great.
Steve, Steph won the first Magic Johnson Western Conference MVP trophy. What did you see from him as far as the challenge of this series for him, and where do you see him at his level of play as he enters the finals again?
I mean, he's our engine offensively. Just everything revolves around him. We've got a lot of great players around him and guys who fit well together, and but it all starts with Steph, and he just creates so much havoc for the defense that even on a night like tonight where he doesn't shoot the ball that well, he forces rotations and he frees up other players. His defense all year has been totally underrated. He's as strong as he's ever been. He's just able to, conditioning-wise, just to play 35 minutes tonight, fighting over screen after screen after screen, and then at the other end, be on the ball and get people open and knock down his shots. And Steph's incredible.
Steve, we've talked before about just at the beginning of the season, there were so many question marks around this team and what this team could be. And you guys obviously have exceeded those expectations. How satisfying is it to be at this stage or this level because of all the adversity you've had to overcome? And is this one maybe even more gratifying knowing what you had to deal with to get here?
It's incredibly gratifying. It's very different. I kind of had a flashback tonight to, I guess, it would have been 7 years ago when we beat Houston to get to the finals at Oracle, and we were up 10 or 12 with 30 seconds left, and I remember the place was just rocking, and I just looked through the arena and I couldn't believe that we had gotten to the finals. And tonight was different, because we've done it. It wasn't the first time we've done it before, but it was in a different way. Incredibly meaningful, given everything that we've been through organizationally and over the last couple of years. And I think it's obviously all about talent and the players. They're the ones who are doing all the work, but we're really lucky to have great people in the organization, great ownership. Incredible front office, and the continuity and the connection we have together is really important.
Steve, obviously over here, everyone is asking about how meaningful this is. Are you able to notice from Steph, Dre, Clay, the guys who've been here, Andre, are you able to notice maybe things? Are they receiving this in a different way? Do you see in them maybe this being more meaningful to them?
Yeah, we shared hugs and thoughts out there, and there's no doubt we're all feeling the same thing. Like what a tough few years it's been since the 19 finals. So to get back again is special for all of us.
Steve, to kind of follow up on Kerr's question, the only other time this has been done in the last 30 years was the Bulls, 91 and 98, which you were obviously part of that. What kind of parallels do you see between those runs? I mean, obviously they had an unusual 2-year absence when Michael played baseball, and you guys had the unusual 2-year not even making the playoffs. How do you sort of see the history there?
I think the common denominator is just talented players who are fierce competitors. Whether you talk about Michael and Scotty, Steph, Draymond, Clay, it takes a special kind of athlete to have both dynamics. The skill and the athleticism and all that, but to also be just incredibly competitive and to want to win so badly. It's the only way you can have a run like that, because you get exhausted, you get tired, you get frustrated. If you don't have that type of competitive desire and that type of skill combined, it's not going to happen 6 times out of 8 years.
Steve, you don't have a classic front line, and obviously you haven't built it that way, but you out-rebound Memphis almost every game, including a massive amount in the clincher. You out-rebound Dallas tonight. Looney gets, 22 in the Memphis game and 18 tonight. You might be seeing a much bigger team in the finals. How do you think your front line matches up? And can you just kind of piece it together against just about anybody? Is that what you're showing?
Well, we'll see who we play. Obviously, that series isn't over yet, and we'll be watching tomorrow. But every series is different, and so you go into whatever matchup you're facing, and you try to figure out what the best way to play will be. And as you've seen, we've had a lot of different lineups and combinations based on our opponents. Loon's been amazing. He was incredible tonight again. Our bench has played really well. So the fun part is, we have, I guess, about a week or 6 days, whatever it is, and we'll have some time to prepare. And that's what the coaches will be doing the next few days once the opponent is set. And that's the fun part for us, and the players get a little break now, and they deserve it. They're exhausted. Great, thank you. Thanks.